Realest one in the goddamn room, and here today, streaming on multiple platforms. It is the first episode for the Breakout podcast. So with this, what we're going to be doing is just talking about different varying animes at the moment, but we will expand further into other conversations from other parts of media, from TV shows to even cartoons or just any daily life type situation. So like this is your one-stop shop for anything and everything that can go on inside the mind of the Breakmaster. So, without further ado, this is the Breakout Podcast, and we're going to be talking about anime. All right, let's hit the intro. All right, so now that is we starting this whole thing up. Before I even go further than that, I'm noticing something that is not working like it needs to. At least I'm seeing here, so I think it might be kind of broke at the moment. Welcome in, Obsidian. Yeah, you first. You first. I was supposed to have a stream up over on YouTube, but I see YouTube is not working like it needs to for some reason. I don't know why. I guess I'll just put it up later is what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. We're not gonna worry about it too much. That's what's about to happen. That's what's about to happen. So we're just gonna stream over here, over on this thing. And yes, you are very present here today. We're just gonna stream over here for Twitch for the time being, but this will be up on YouTube, and if I can, this should be up on Spotify sometime soon as well. So with all that said and done, let us talk some anime. The first picture you see, the first slide that you see here, this is Go Loser Ranger. If you haven't watched this show, I recommend this. I recommend this a lot. This show's really good. One of the, maybe I can say sleeper? Would you consider this a sleeper anime? I feel like it is. I don't know. Not many people are really talking about it. People look up the image and probably just be like, I'll sidestep this. But don't do that. Don't do that. Just stick around. I watched up to I believe 6 episodes so far for this show, and honestly, it's a very solid anime. So think about it like this. We have the villains in the show. They get subdued by the heroes, with the Rangers basically, right? And so there's this whole type of dynamic that goes on here where the villains kind of have to play the part for the heroes to always look good. Is what the role is what they got to do. So the guy you see in the image here, the man that's clad in black, he is one of the villains. He's the main character of the actual show. So we're seeing the perspective of the villains as opposed to the heroes. Usually you always see the heroes and them transforming the Rangers and yada yada, because the Rangers are actually kind of trash. They are, again, kind of treating them very dirty just so they can still have this image of, oh, we're happy-go-lucky. We're the Rangers. We're supposed to look at us all the time. Know your role. Shut your mouth. That guy doesn't like that. He doesn't want to know his role. He doesn't want to shut his mouth. So therefore, he's like, all right, I want to change the system. So he's actually trying to get into the Ranger system because anybody can train to become a Ranger. And so he's like, you know what? I'm going to start learning how to get into all this whole situation. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to hurt some suckers out here. And there's also this lady we see also in the image here, the one that's clad in yellow. Just pay attention to her. I don't want to say too much because I don't know how much of anyone's even seen this anime, but it changes the whole dynamic of what a Ranger series is supposed to be. So I do like that element of what the show is trying to do, and it's quite different from your normal anime for that matter. So I enjoy this. I recommend this show quite a bit. There's a lot of good action that goes on here. It doesn't have the greatest animation, and I think this is one of our main talking points. I think throughout this entire season of anime so far for spring anime, I believe we have come to a point which kind of sucks, that if the anime doesn't have Demon Slayer-ish type animation 24/7, 365, we dismiss it. We don't allow it to have the hype that it deserves. Case in point, Kaiju number 8. They hyped the crap out of that initially, but once it came out, do you see a lot of people talking about Kaiju number 8? No, not really. That's because animation it's good, but it's not that next level good that people are looking for. And Go Loser Rangers and a lot of animes in this season kind of fall flat when it comes to that, which kind of sucks. And it's weird to even say because Demon Slayer actually is in this season right now, and we'll be getting into that later in this podcast. But yes, it's a shame. So yes, Andy, welcome in. Might crackling that popcorn? What you mean? Is it that bad? Hopefully it's not doing too much. This is just a mock test of this whole thing. If it's sounding bad, please tell me, because I'm hoping it's not terrible. Desto! Pause off when it needs to. That's the thing. That's the problem, though. It needs to be consistent, not because when it needs to. It's not. That's where the issue comes in. They're looking for something that always looks good, whereas, you know, like I watch Mob Psycho, for instance, very solid anime. When it needs to pop off, amazing animation really comes into play right there, right? But it's not always the case. But we don't, you know what I mean? You don't talk about Mob Psycho about animation right there, right? You talk about like the story, about the characterization, things of that nature, right? That's what we talk about. This is kind of the same elements that's going on here. This is by far not bad animation. I'm not even saying it is. It's just that I feel like we've come to a weird point within the anime community that if it ain't popping off all the time, we ain't gonna talk about it. Like that's just what's going on here. I don't see people talking about Go Lose the Ranger. So like that's all I'm trying to say here. All right. Probably here before you. Oh god dang. How you doing, Nazi? Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. This is the first episode of the podcast. You guys are actually gonna be a part of the podcast. I'm saying y'all names. So this first episode is a mock. Supposed to be streaming over on YouTube. I see it's not working, so I have to fix some other stuff, but I digress. I digress, all right? This is unfortunately not getting a lot of traction because it's in Disney jail. I mean, I feel like shows can still prosper even in that element that's there. Unfortunately, it sucks that it's all over there, but I mean, anime is anime. I feel like people can still find ways to make this stuff happen. I'm just saying, but it is unfortunate. There's people don't talk about this anime, which is why we're here in the podcast talking about it now. This is good. Go Lose a Ranger is worth your time. Please go watch this show if you guys can. I believe there's a dub for it too. If not, I could be lying, but I'll keep you back on that. I'll get you some more information on this, okay? Oh, so Nasi, you have watched it. Okay, cool. Anime with animation that goes way above and beyond are the exceptions for sure. Yo, 100%. That's the thing. Like, a lot of those shows are the exception. They're not. That shouldn't be the norm, but I feel like because animation in of itself has stepped up, we're at a point where it's like, if something that looks, because I can't even say this is decent. This is some good animation. This is the thing. Like, Go Lose the Ranger has great animation, but it's not next level. There's another tier there that is not touching, unfortunately, and that's where the problem kind of lies. And people want to see that next level all the time, and unfortunately, that's not the case here. All right, and it'll get more attention. Maybe. See, it's hard to say that, Desto, because then, like, again, there's a lot of other animes within this season that I feel like not a lot of people are talking about. People are just waiting for My Hero Academia to drop and waiting for Demon Slayer to drop. No one's really talking about these other animes that I'm about to be talking about here, because, like I said, there's elements to it that's just not working like it needs to. Let's skip some of the stuff in the manga. Yeah, see, oh, dang, that freaking sucks. Why we skipping stuff? But all right, Go Lose a Ranger gets a silver approval for me. Y'all need to go watch this goddamn show. Do it. Do it now. Stop waiting. All right. Let's move on to the next show. And that is Kaiju number 8. This is one of the shows that were like hyped up the most out of this season. And this is another one where I feel like this show should have had more traction, more conversations, people actually like fawning over this. But I don't see a lot of that either for Kaiju number 8. It's a great series. 100% certified. Like, this is probably one of the best out of the season. And it's going up against My Hero Academia, going up against Demon Slayer. But I believe that the way this show is going, this could be one of the best of this season. And if it ends off well with this first season, this could be a contender for Anime of the Year. That's how much hype I'm going to give it. Because it's worth the hype a little bit here. The show is good. I liked how the main character, how he is, and how the fact that he's pretty much he's as old as I am. It's like I can relate to this man. Like, this man's me. You know that little meme with freaking Dingy? That's me for real. Yeah, that's what's going on here. Like, we have an older main character. We don't usually see that just in anime for that matter, especially like a shonen type show, right? So it's nice to see that he's just trying to get a second chance at being in this division and trying to actually meet up with his friend from long ago, that she's a goat, apparently, when it comes to the sector here and everything like that, because they're out here fighting kaijus, and, you know, he's part of the cleanup crew. That's what his first position was just, you know, cleaning up all the kaijus after the battle and everything is done. His life was very shitty, if you know, want to use play on words right now, because he was out here just cleaning up shit, cleaning up all kinds of mess, all the death. It's bad. It's bad. But he found a friend in all the cleanups and was the driving force that allowed him to actually go for his dreams, to be able to actually go in and being part of the force to be able to actually fight the kaijus, which is really nice. But again, the show, like, it evolves further beyond. There's like this, like, in later episodes, like a talking kaiju dude threw me all the way off. I was shocked, shooketh. I was like, what is going on? Main character, you can kind of see just from this image right here, he kind of turns into a kaiju. We don't know exactly, like, what that thing was that kind of took his body, because this happens all in the first episode, mind you. So, for what I'm talking about right now, when it comes to him, he ended up kind of, you know, having a thing kind of going to his body, kind of remind me of Migi from Parasite, the anime. It kind of reminded me of that a little bit. Something comes inside your body, and then boom, now you got superpowers. Now he's a goddamn kaiju, just like any other shonen for that matter. Like in Naruto, Kurama, you know what I'm saying? Freaking Ichigo, he has, like, well, there's more than one sucker actually inside his body. That sounds very sus, but you know what I mean. You know, there always got to be some other entity that allows him to have greater form and greater power, and that's kind of what's going on with this dude, because day to day we see what he can actually do without using his abilities. He's trash, unfortunately. You know, like, it's a shame, really, but that's what makes it so endearing at the end of the day, and his goals and aspirations we can actually kind of go with. Like, I can vibe with this dude. This dude is kind of good. And this is why I like the show a lot, because the cast members of the series so far is really good. Like, outside of just the story itself, like, the characters in the show are really freaking good. I do like that a lot. Also, Quetz, welcome in. Grace, welcome in. Don't you freaking quote me right now. It hasn't hooked you yet, Des, though. Let's see, what's going on there? What's going on there, all right? Yeah. Literally, it's literal shit. Yes. My back isn't like it used to be. I feel that. Exactly what you're saying. See, Grace, you can understand this too. Because it's the way this character, how old he is. We're in the same boat. We understand, all right? I mean, this show is good. I do thoroughly enjoy Kaiju number 8. It is, again, another certified anime hit. Y'all, I do recommend this quite heavily to watch this. Like I said, this could be one of the better ones out of this season, and it could be contender for anime of the year. But we'll have to find out. Apparently, Deso ain't feeling it. I'm surprised. All right? See that fader, bro? See you. Thank you, bro. See, I just cut my hair today, all right? Yes, I did. All right. Okay, I need to get on this. I've been seeing the manga, but I never actually. You should actually, and I see you should. I recommend this. This is some good stuff. I'm telling you. All right. Yeah, the song's a banger too. What's interesting about Kaiju number 8? Thank you for bringing that up, Grace. The interesting thing about Kaiju number 8 is the fact that we have a known band doing. I believe the ending is what it is, not the opening. The ending is from One Republic. This is an actual known band from, like, over here in the States. So it's like, oh, like, we're outsourcing a little bit here, and we're doing more of that lately, which is kind of interesting. I personally don't mind doing that. As long as it sounds good, I don't really care. You know what I mean? As long as it sounds good, look, I can get jiggy with it. Also, perfect opportunity to do karaoke, because it's all in English, so I can do this. All right, I can do this. Cause you know I'll be struggling when it comes to doing some karaoke with Japanese songs. All right, I'm like itayo and stuff. I'm not doing it. It's not. It ain't working, bro. It's doing the ending. Yeah, why were they mad, bro? Why were they mad? And it's funny too that how can you even be mad about that? Because there's other animes that had, like, English openings that are from, like, people that used to do fan dubs and stuff like that, or do covers of anime songs. it's actually insane. Like, you can see probably Amelie at some point do an actual anime opening if she hasn't already done it. You know what I mean? Like, people that it's crazy what's changing in the landscape of just anime and outsourcing of the songs and of this nature. It's pretty cool. I like that. Alejandro Sab's voicing the talking dude in English. Oh yeah. I saw that recently, which is pretty cool. I like that. There is no redeems for nothing right now, right? We can't do that. This is a podcast. This is how they show the kaiju origin in the opening, which it is good. And I actually need to look and dissect that a bit more. But yes, it is good. All right. I personally like the opening and the ending. I vibe with it. For me, it's probably one of the better openings and endings of this season so far. Because weirdly enough, if I have to actually like kind of grade some stuff right now, I think, well, I believe we heard from Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer seems pretty good from what I'm hearing. This is at least the opening ending from Demon Slayer better than last season. I can say that much. I wasn't really feeling last season's like opening or ending for that matter. But this season is a little bit better. I don't know. I feel like this one could actually have one of the better, if not the best ones when it comes to anime and anime opening and anime endings. Just saying, all right? Yes, ending is a bot for like that's though. That Losing Ranger one, amazing, all right? Amazing. But again, recommend this. Let us move on to the goddamn next show. That's the wrong button. That's still the wrong button. Don't worry about that. See, we still trying to figure. That's why I said this is the test. It's the test, all right? You didn't see that, all right? That never happened. You know, if you hear the podcast and just hearing the audio for it, like I said, you didn't hear nothing, all right? Okay, so this is an out of the pocket, I guess, pun intended, because, you know, it's a hole in one pocket, you know, because it's golf. It's Tombo, you know? Yeah, there's a sports golf anime, all right? It just came out this season. I will have a video on this later because I got some stuff to say about the dub. But I'll just say this right now. The dub is no good. If you're going to watch this show, watch it in sub. I don't always say that. If the dub is good enough, I'll be like, you can still watch the dub. No, not this time. Not this time. Don't watch the dub. If you're gonna even attempt to watch it, don't do it. I don't even think you should actually even watch this show per se, because I don't know. It concerns me. it feels very wholesome right now, right? We have this dude that comes to this island. Apparently he must be very knowledgeable when it comes to like golf and the techniques and this and that and the other. And he finds this little girl named Tombo, all right? And she's really good when it comes to playing golf. And he's really impressed. And so these two start hanging out together. Now, obviously, like, he's a much older man. This girl's like freaking like maybe like 12 years old. There's things that happen within her life that she's like displaced in a way. She doesn't really have any family like that outside of her grandfather, I believe, at this point, right? So there's a lot of like stuff that happened. She's not someone that they want to keep around. So, you know, like, that's kind of the story here. And apparently the dude that comes to this island, he has a family, but he's kind of trash when it comes to his son and everything. He was really forcing his son to try to be good at golf and all that crap. And it was bad. Like, he was not the best type of father. So it's like almost like a redemption arc in a way for him, in viewing Tombo at this point, right? And for her, she could actually maybe potentially get a family out of this or something. That's like the premise I'm seeing from the show right here. This is a couple episodes in telling you this, so it's a little bit of a spoiler. But this is what I'm saying. I feel like there's no reason to probably watch this, because I don't know. Like, it can stay wholesome, and it can be like a moment where they find like he adopts her or something like that. Awesome, you know what I mean? And it's like happy ending, family, right? Family. Or it can go the Usagi drop route, and it becomes more of the family. And it's not like this stuff hadn't happened before. Because I said, Usagi drop, Bunny drop. God dang it. That show, unfortunately, as good as it was from the anime perspective, I was like, yes, this is wholesome as heck. Muy caliente. Great anime. Hearing what happens later on, it's like, bro, what happened? Why? So, like I said, and it's not like it I'm not saying it I'm just concerned, okay? I'm just concerned. So, with the fact that this dub is trash and how the show is, which is not, it's not bad, and it can be a little on a wholesomer side, but it's also pretty slow for an anime to watch as well. I will say as well, it is kind of slow. This is one of those ones maybe you want to pass on this season. There's better anime out there that you could watch, that you can spend your time with. You can skip this one. You don't need to have a golf anime. Not this one anyways, all right? There's other golf anime out there that you can watch. There's not many, but there are some out there. This is just not one of them. You let it go, all right? Just I'm scared, okay? Yeah, exactly. I'm really hoping it's purely father figure, but you never know, all right? I'm gonna pass. Yeah, that's like I said. This is more of a pass. You don't have to do anything with this, all right? Love hearing break trash on dubs. I don't always do that, but for some reason, I don't know who. I looked this dub up, and it's like I don't know what went wrong exactly, but it's. Like I said, I have a video, and I'm actually going to show examples in the video to why it's bad. Because there's just, like, the line delivery for, like, all the characters are just off. Like, it's just off. Like, I don't know why they keep doing this, but they have, like, old people, right, in the show, and they get some young sucker there. You can tell the sucker's young. Like, you can tell that the sucker ain't freaking 80 years old doing that 80-year-old freaking character. Nah, that sucker probably, like, 20 years old, trying to sound like this. I'm an old person. And it's like, no, sucker, like, you fake. Like, I can tell. I just I can't with this. And just like I said, it's like the cadence to some of the stuff that happens with like his line delivery. Because the main problem I have with the dub is not even the voices. It's the line delivery that they have. It's so jarring. They do not talk normal. I don't get what's going on. It's like ADR director. You sat there in the booth, let these suckers read these lines, and you sat there and said, yeah, this is good. No, sucker, like, are you hearing what I'm hearing? Let me stop. See, I'm going in. That's why I shouldn't do this. That's it. I got a video talking about this. Don't worry, all right? He's doing for the paycheck and the licensing. I mean, pretty much, god dang it. We're getting bad dubs because there's small companies coming up, and they just don't care. Like, I'm still upset that Oshinoko's dub is not good. Like, Oshinoko doesn't have the worst dub, but I expected better given the fact that this show blew up. Like, this was a good anime that had a lot of traction and a lot of eyes on it. So you would think that they would take more time and make more effort to make sure that dub was good for that show, but it was not, unfortunately. It's like, what happened? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So dub quality since Funimation merged, which is also true too. That could be honestly what the case is. Which is another talking point that we can actually have going into this. Because like, if you really think about it, yeah, Funimation was the leading head when it came to doing English dub anime, right? And then there was like Viz Media on the side, and there's Sentai Filmwork on the side that they were still doing dub work as well. Crunchyroll technically was kind of getting more into it, but I mean, they're the ones doing it now because they merged with Funimation, so technically speaking, that's like a Crunchyroll dub, but not really. It's a weird merger type of stuff going on. It's weird. So I don't know where to place it right now, but ever since that happened, yeah, like we're actually getting like some other smaller studios coming out, but they just don't care. Like, I don't know why they're allowing these animes to get licensed by these small companies, because they're not doing the show justice, and I just don't understand that. Or do I need to talk about Mika the Dali again? Because that Mika the Dali dub. God dang it, man. These whippersnappers, a 30-year-old voice actor. Look, it's not like they couldn't do it if they were younger, or, you know, to sound like an older person. But it's just so unconvincing that you're trying to convince yourself that this is old. This is an old person when they're clearly not. Like, it's so obvious. It's like, bro, stop it. Stop it. You don't have the voice acting chops to do it. I'm sorry. I don't want to be mean, but at the same time, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You gotta voice a different character. Allow somebody else, maybe of older age, or somebody that knows how to actually change the inflections of their voice, or change it in some way to where they sound much older. But I digress. Like I said, there's a video on this. I'm gonna go in. It's gonna be. I don't know. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but god dang it, I gotta say what I gotta say, because there are good dubs out there. There are good dubs. Just, I'm telling you right now, like Remaster, actually, which is one I haven't put on the list, which I forgot to do, but Remaster has a good dub. Remaster's a good show. I actually like that show quite a bit, but I didn't put that on the list, so we're not gonna talk about that right now. So, all right, let's move on to the next episode. Next show, I mean. Actually, speaking of good dubs, viral hit. This anime right here has a good dub. Also, this show good. I'm shocked. So it took me 4 episodes to finally be locked in on this because I was still uncertain after the 3rd episode. But the 4th episode, for some reason, it got me. It got me. I'm kind of hyped with this. This show is nice. Viral Hit is another sleeper, and it's also a show that's it's a webtoons. It is a webtoons, and what's really interesting about Viral Hit is not from like its storytelling or anything like that. It's just like the way the animation is. The animation, for some reason, I don't know. I'm trying to explain as best I can, right? But I feel like for some reason, out of all the webtoons that have come out so far that became animes, this is the closest I've ever seen an adaptation get like the webtoon style and put it into anime form. Like this, it's stupidly close. Which why it's at times why it took me a minute to actually get into the show. But I think this is why at times it kind of threw me off because of just webtoons have a certain type of style and storytelling, right? That doesn't always lead itself to being something that can be in an anime format, right? So I think that's part of the reason why when I'm watching the show, it can be a little off-putting at times. I will say, because like the pacing of it is kind of choppy here and there, but it does a really good job at still keeping the webtoons element, which I don't know how they did it, but more webtoons shows that need to become like animes and stuff, they need to do more of this because it to me it works. To me it works, and it's very faithful. I feel like to what the webtoons is kind of about. Because what Viral Hit basically is, you see the guy right here. He gets bullied. You know, he's a man that kind of gets no love. And he has a sickly mother, and he's out here struggling. So one thing he has seen when it comes to gaining money is his classmates, they stream, and one of his classmates, he be making tons of money just on his lunch break, and he said, man, I wish I could be somebody like that, right? So there's a whole thing that kind of ends up happening that allows him to be in a position that allows him to be someone that's like on YouTube, basically, that makes a lot of money, and that's kind of where the story ends up going, but it's like Fight Club, because now you're fighting suckers, basically. That's his whole channel. That's why it's called Viral Hit. He fights suckers on his channel all the goddamn time. So that's his way of earning cash and earning money, and he's learning how to fight while doing this, because he sucks at fighting too. So also, he has a potential chance of getting with this really beautiful girl, and the girl does like him, it seems like. But there's problems with his own self-confidence, because again, he's been bullied. He don't see much of himself. So there's a lot going on with this, but I like it. And like I said, the 4th episode is what kind of got me, because this man was down bad, so down bad to a point where he said for the next month he just trained his butt off, and now he's like a new man in a way. So I'm looking forward to the next episode. Like, it got me hyped to see what he can actually do and what he's learned in the process of all this. So, like I said, this is a very nice show. There's some characters in there that will get you really mad. And I think that's the other thing, too, because I'm sitting there like, I mean, the main character himself gets me annoyed at times because of how much he downplays himself all the time. That type of negativity is never good, and I always tell everybody this, that you should never talk down to yourself like this, because you're going to start believing what you're saying, right? How are you going to get yourself out of that mental fog if you keep constantly talking down to yourself? Like, stop doing that. That doesn't help you. So I'm glad that he's finally finding the way to get out of that situation. So, like I said, it's a good anime. I do recommend it if you're looking for like a manhwa, webtoons that is not bad for once, kind of. Because I mean, there's Tower of God, but I ain't like Tower of God was too fast of an anime. I didn't really feel it like that. This actually is somewhat paced pretty decently. It's doing better than what I've seen from other webtoon animes. So I do recommend this one. I do recommend this. All right, so that's what I'm gonna give here. So Fight Club without the mind bendy stuff. Yeah, exactly. That's so exactly. But yeah, that was a plot here. Viral Hit's amazing. It will hook you. Like I said, it took me a minute to get hooked, but it got me though. Oh yeah, they scrapping in this, and Nazi. They scrapping. There's a lot of fighting in this, and the man is just out here getting his freaking butt manhandled, but he's getting through it. He's getting through it. Okay, he's getting through it. He's a beautiful woman, a blonde, brunette, or a red haired. She's a brunette, so long hair. Like it's like your standard beauty. Like for some reason, that's the other thing I think I kind of find funny with it, because like I feel like there's a certain type that gets drawn up within webtoons. If you know what that kind of type is, that's what the character is that you see that this guy likes, because she's pretty stereotypical when it comes to the beauty standards, but not a bad character though. Not a bad character though. All right, I let her cook. Yeah, some yeah, exactly. Like seriously, she's that grind to get strong. Yeah, and that's pretty much what this is, broski. He's literally grinding to get stronger. So it's nice to see that development's happening here. Let me check this out. Like I say, just give it a shot. Give it a shot. There's 4 episodes so far that's dubbed. The dub for this one isn't like simulcasted, similar to like how Kaiju Number 8 is. Kaiju Number 8's dub is on the same day as the sub that comes out, so you can watch either or. This one comes out, I think, the week after the episode comes. So there's like 5 episodes in total at the moment, but I've only seen 4. So that's up to you if you want to watch all of this. All right. Yes, grinding, Zaya. Yes, all right. What you could do too, Deso. This could be a better binge watch type of anime than an anime you're watching on a weekly basis, because it does lead you to want to see more. And like I said, the way the pacing is of the show, it's interesting. That I think this one leads itself more to maybe a binge watch as opposed to on a weekly basis. So I'll let that slide. I'll let that one slide in there. All right. But Viral Hit, I do recommend it. So let's move on to the next one, which is the small image, because I couldn't find a goddamn image in time, of Demon Slayer. Woo, yeah. Oh, Demon Slayer, baby. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Chicken Man cosplay? I could. Zaya, I could. All right. I can do that. From episodes to be released, because there's one character Viral Hit that I want to see so bad. See, I've been getting hyped up about Viral Hit from a friend of mine. That's the reason why I watched it in the first place, because he's been hyping it up. He's read the manhwa and everything, so he's sitting there like, man, that one character. He was saying something to me, and I'm pretty sure it was spoiler, but I don't remember what he said, so I'm good. But he was bringing some stuff up that didn't even happen in the anime yet, so I was like, I'm not here yet, bro. Well, hold on there. Yeah, the swole rooster, man. Look, hands though. All right. Haven't watched Demon Slayer yet. Funny enough, that's though. So here's the thing about this first episode of Demon Slayer. Apparently, there was a special that came out. I don't know exactly when, but there was a special that did come out before this anime came. Right. Apparently, that special is just the first episode. Because the first episode is actually like an hour long. All the first episode does is set up what everybody does for the training camp. Because like this is a Hashira training arc. So all the Hashiras have like a certain specialty when it comes to training somebody. So they're training a bunch of people for the oncoming fight that's about to happen here, right? So we're just showcasing what they kind of can do, well, what kind of training that they're gonna actually implement for Tanjiro and for everybody else. So that's literally the first episode. Like that's just like the quickest summary I can give, because I'll be honest, not too much stuff actually happened. It was just more of the recovery aspects of after the whole thing that happened last season, because Tanjiro and company got bodied. Like they were struggling, but no one died though. Not this time. None of the Hashiras died this time. God dang it! And it's also cool because even Hashiras that are, well, the one Hashira that is retired, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, if you haven't seen it yet, he's actually partaking in this as well. He's still a Hashira. So even though he lost some body parts, he can still actually train in a basic format for other people. So you might see him more often within the season, hopefully. Hopefully. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, right? So, yeah. Yeah. Exactly, broski. Something like that. Like, it's kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. So it's hard to really rate this episode because, like, it wasn't bad or anything like that, but it wasn't like, oh man, Demon Slayer is here, I gotta watch it. Like, you can actually wait a minute Like, what I just explained to you right now, I'm not saying you couldn't watch it, but you can be okay with not really seeing this episode because you're like, you just know the basis because that's all they did. Well, there's also, well, I don't think they confirmed it yet. The Thabreakmaster, I don't think they confirmed it yet, but it's like his health is like, of course, declining. We know this already, but it's declining to a point where I guess he just can't move no more. He's like bedridden the entire way. So like his impending death seems very imminent. So I don't like. Question for people that actually watch Demon Slayer, by the way. Just a quick question, because I can't remember. Maybe I'm just tripping or something, but like, did they ever say exactly what it was that has him all like in bed and sick? Like what's going on with this guy exactly? Because I can't remember what it was, or if they even said it to why he's like so messed up in the first place. That's the thing here. So yeah, so I don't know, but like I said, you can wait, but I'm looking forward to this season. Like this first episode, if you already seen the specials, there's no reason to even watch this. So it's funny enough. Like at the end of the day, yeah. As far as I remember, okay, it hasn't been confirmed. Okay, so I'm sitting there like, I don't recall them ever saying what it is, but maybe I missed it, because, you all know how I feel about, like, the 3D fish and stuff, right? There's one thing that stuck out to me this entire episode, and for some reason, it bothered me. It really bothered me. And that is the goddamn 3D fish. You know, like, 3D fish, like, the guy that was a 3D fish in the last season, he's dead, right? So apparently they had some goldfish in a freaking fish bowl. Why couldn't they just freaking 2D animate that? They were just swimming, bro. And why were they in freaking full on CGI 3D? Like what were we doing? Like I was like, what's happening? Bro, it takes 5 seconds. Look, it's not that hard to draw some fish swimming in a circle, bro. Come on. They gotta be trolling me. Nah, it's like, there's something going on here. Cause I was like, what's happening? It's like there's no reason to animate that like that. Cause like you could have easily just, you know, it is what it is, all right, guys. I understand, don't want to go all out. This is like, you would think that maybe we would do more than with the CG. I don't know, all right. They probably are saving budget. Like this, I will say, this episode, animation-wise, you know what? In comparison to last season, remember the first episode of last season? Where they had like, it was like the first, minute or two? Where it had just nothing but cuts, you know? Showing all the other demons, remember that? And it was like, the stairway, and then the other demon, always upside down. And the animation was like, doing all this like fancy stuff. Remember that? Remember that? Freaking amazing. Unnecessary, but amazing. They didn't do that here. They just said, no, we're gonna be very modest this time, right? We're not gonna go that crazy with it. I still laugh at that every time because it's like there was no reason to go that hard in the opening scene. It's like what's happening? But we'll see how this whole animation goes. I don't know. I know that Unfoundable is pretty good when it comes to animation, but for some reason, Demon Slayer, at least with last season, I was a little underwhelmed of what they actually provided us with, because the CG wasn't as blended as well as it should have been, like it was in the previous season. So I'm hoping that this season they do a bit better with the style of the CG that they're using, and the 3D elements are actually working within the 2D elements, and they're not just so jarring that it's so obvious. You know what I mean? I'm hoping they're gonna get better with that, but I'll let it be Fran now. Training hours supposedly is a very long. Wonder how long season. That's the other thing too. That's though actually I don't know how many episodes this season even supposed to be. I haven't got any confirmation on how long it's supposed to go is the thing here. So we'll see what's going on with this. I want to see. But let us move on. I think this is the last show, right? Let me see. Yep, it is. All right. I saved this one for last. And I saved it for last for a reason. All right, if you haven't seen the latest episodes of My Hero Academia, cover your ears, because I will spoil at least a little bit of this, because I'm a little annoyed with what they did, because it made no goddamn sense of what they did here for My Hero Academia. Man, where to start? Where to start? There's only two arcs left, and yeah, I believe they're gonna be doing movies or something like that for it. I've seen it, but I know what happened from the manga. Oh, been waiting for this rant. Oh, here we go. Okay, look. Okay, all right. It makes sense like on the terms of how the story went with it. What I don't like, and I hate any show that does this. This is not a My Hero Academia problem. I hate any show that gives me a freaking character in the sucker. Like I said, the spoilers. The sucker dies. The sucker dies. Literally when you first freaking, like, I think, was she like in only one episode? I think she was only in like one episode. Stars and Stripes. It's like, I actually like her character. I liked her character. And she was like remnants of like All Might, and her power is stupid. I mean, there's a reason why she probably had to die. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Her power is ridiculous. Like, she can make an order and just make anything happen. Basically, it's just like her power and her ability is one of the best like quirks you can possibly have in the show. So I can see why you would want to keep her around, because keeping her around means she can probably be anybody in the goddamn show. And here's the other thing. It's not even about the death that I have the most problem with, actually. I know it sounds weird, right? It's not the death that I have the most problem with when it comes to Star's death here. What I have the most problem with is just Shigaraki himself. I was having this issue literally last season, because last season, if y'all remember, Shigaraki was taking all the damage. And I mean, all the damage. I don't understand how much damage this man took. His body was burnt to crisp, and he was still walking. I was like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. And then you also had Deku in the background, like, I still gotta do this. Like, why is he? He's not even the #1 hero, bro. Why is he getting up, but the #1 hero literally on the goddamn ground doing absolutely nothing? Like, you are trash. Get that title off you. You don't deserve that crown. Get the crap off. God dang it. Because Deku did more than you. And this Psycho was all jacked up, banged up, his arms all freaking doing the flailing two-man sucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was all messed up. He was still going. Like, sucker. But I digress. But this is kind of the problem I'm having with My Hero Academia right now. I don't like how Shigaraki's defenses and how strong this man actually is. Luckily what Star did do was pretty much weaken this man to a very lower extent, but I don't know how much that actually did for him. Yes, he lost quirks in the process of Star being like inside of him, because she used her last order to pretty much get rid of all of Shigaraki's other quirks, but they also got rid of her own quirk that was inside his body. So, I mean, again, I understand, I appreciate that. They gave her a really cool send-off, but I don't understand why you're gonna give a character that's this cool, right? But not, like, at least show her. If you have watched One Piece, and this is another bit of a spoiler, but I feel like people know about this at this point when it comes to this particular character, but this is another spoiler. If you've watched One Piece, this is back then, but there's a character that got introduced. His name is Ace, right? We got to see a little bit of him in Alabasta, right? And that's where Luffy finally meets up his brother. They kind of dab it up. And you know what I mean? You get the introduction of the character and get to familiarize who he is. Why couldn't we do that with Star first? Why couldn't Star come by, maybe talk to the younger, like the youth or whatever the case is? People would be like, oh, wow, you remind me of All Might. Do some stuff like that first, and then have her go out and then take the L or something, right? No, like, she's literally, all right, we here, we're going, and then die. It's like, it just feels like it's a waste of a character, and it feel like it was a bit of a waste of our time, right? So that's the problem I'm having with it. And like I said, Shigaraki, I wish they didn't beef him up as much as they did, because he's just ridiculous. It's annoying to see. Like, Endeavor used his most powerful attack on this dude, and it did nothing. Star grabbed like, and what was like a bunch of freaking like bombs, and had the explosion in her hand and was just putting on him. He was just sitting there, like, and he's like, yes, I'm just regenerating though. I was like, I can't. I just like, I don't know. It's like, it's like Shigaraki just annoys me, because like, how are you supposed to beat this guy? Like, I'm like, seriously. And he's not, the thing is too, he's not even fully complete. He's not even fully complete. He didn't fully finish the product. So how strong was he supposed to be if he was completed? Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I guess My Hero Academia, with what they're doing right now, they're putting themselves in a massive hole to where only Deku can do this. There's literally nobody in this show that can even touch this sucker at this point, and from what I'm seeing. And Deku's probably gonna be the only one, because he's gonna have some other bullcrap that's gonna allow him to just be stupid OP. But like I said, I digress. Honestly, yes. I feel like they love bro. In that same episode, they were explaining, okay, So we still have the League of Villains. We got these other villains on the side. Oh, and there's the other faction that's over there, and then there's still more. So I was like, bro, I mean, you're absolutely right. There's too many villains, and y'all keep losing heroes. So I was like, how the heck is anybody supposed to deal with this? Like, when they started breaking it down, I was like, yeah. And then how is these students? Some of them, they keep saying, oh, we trained, we got better. Did you see Mineta say anything? Mineta sat there and said, yeah, better. Sucker didn't, he didn't got a liquor train. This sucker trash. You know what I'm saying? He got the dude with the stupid tail. He's supposed to do like karate. What are you doing? Unless you fight a hand-to-hand combat with another martial artist, you ain't about to do anything. Like, freaking Sugar Rush? Ah, yes. I'm getting stronger because I eat some sugar. It's like, you gonna die in 2 hits. Like, I'm sorry. Like, all these heroes are no good. All right? And that's the Class A. You can go to Class B too. There's like, what, 2 suckers over there in Class B? That's kind of like, okay, they're kind of good. Everybody else is freaking trash. Like get this crap out of here, man. they ain't ready. They ain't ready, bro. What do you mean? What happens to him? He's about to get a power up? People keep saying that freaking Dobby's power is like, it's on the same level as freaking Endeavor's and stuff. I'm saying, like, how already? Like, and why is Endeavor the freaking #1 hero, bro? He's freaking like, no wonder you could never get to #1. He shouldn't even be #2. When training his sticky balls, yeah, man, you doing something, god dang it. Who's somebody to make a diss track on Sugar Rocky? I hate the way that you walk. I hate the way that you talk. I hate the way you breathe. Honestly, I do. I really don't like his. I don't like his character. All right, the hole just gets deeper. All right, I don't get it. Character evolve. It just makes me mad. Like, I want to like this show. Don't get me wrong. There's things about it that I do like, and this is why I still stick with it to this day. But Lord, it's like the way the writing's going. It's just like you're putting yourself in a deeper hole than you don't need to put yourself in. Let the heroes actually win something. Let Uraka actually have her own freaking character, please. She had something, and then you let it go. And he never brought it back. And now she's just a lovesick puppy. God. Like, sucker, no. God. And you're absolutely right, Deso. I agree with you on that. Since season 3, all right? Since season 3. I'm telling you, look, I get passionate sometimes, all right? It's, I won't say it's mid, but there's just problems that I do have just with My Hero Academia in general. And I see that this season so far is already making me mad. And then you finally introduce somebody that I might actually like, and then you kill them off. Nice. A place of love. I get exactly. And that's the thing. It's like, and I do this for anything that I actually enjoy. Like, I will always be critical of things, right? I can be that way. I can be critical of shows that, even though I enjoy them, I see the problems with it. And these are legit issues that the show is constantly having right now. Like, they want us to keep thinking, like, oh, this new generation, Class 1A, oh yeah. Freaking All Might was sitting there smiling. He's sitting there smiling, like, Shigaraki don't know. Shigaraki does know, okay? He knows nobody can touch him on that. Freaking, what are you going to, like, All Might? You can't seriously sit there and be smiling like, yeah, you know, Mineta, he's gonna stick it up. he's gonna throw them balls, and freaking Shigaraki ain't gonna know what to do. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? It's a serious question. Like, like there's so many of these people that can't do anything, and yet you're sitting here trying to hype these suckers up. Stop hyping them up. Stop it. Unless they learn a new ability. Like, even freaking Bakugo said, yes, I learned a new ability. What, to explode more? Like, what are you doing? What could you do? Let me not, guys. How you doing, Blizzard? We're out doing a podcast at the moment. Also, Narcos, welcome in. I digress. My Hero Academia, as much as I said, I like the show, but these are my issues, and I think I'm gonna keep having these rants. I'm gonna keep having these problems. I don't know. Maybe next week, depending on how the episode goes. Maybe next week you might hear me talk about the show again. So, like, we'll see how the next episode goes. Because, like, I know this man just gonna keep happening, and I didn't even bring up freaking one for all or anything. Because, like, He's an issue in of itself, outside of what he's doing inside of freaking Shigaraki. It's like, it's just too much, man. I'm not trying. I don't even hate on Bakugo like that, but at the same time, it's like he has a cap on his ability. It feels like, and there's only so much he can do with his explosions. But we'll see what he can do. All right. Alpha one, yeah. But you know what I mean. God dang it. I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, when it comes to Bakugo, I don't know how much he can do. Here's the thing here. Start taking cars to help you trash. Honestly, yes. Hey, and if you're willing to jump in a call and talk My Hero Academia with me, same thing with you, that stuff. You whenever want to, like, this is a podcast. I want to have guests on here at some point. So if you all want to talk anime with me, that could be something we can actually do. Bring it up. Just saying. All right. I got a whole thing. For that. All right. Don't worry. But I think that concludes with all the animes that we're supposed to be talking about here. Outside of, I guess, like I said, I wanted to talk about Remaster a little bit because Remaster is good. I've watched all the episodes at this point from the dub, anyways. That's like up to episode 8 or 7, somewhere around there. Basically, what that show for Remaster is, which I don't have an image for it, but Remaster is actually an isekai. I know. If you've been around me enough times, you all know I don't like isekais like that. Surprisingly enough, this isekai actually has my interest. It's keeping me interested in it. It still has the same kind of tropes that other isekais do have, like the main character banging literally all the women because he's just that guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what he does, you know what I'm saying? He's just getting more and more people to his harem, and everybody wants to freaking have babies with him, right? That's just what it is. Apparently, just like, I don't know, that's just with isekais in general. Like, for some reason, that's what they got to do. But I like kind of where we started with this because the dude, I wouldn't even say he was human necessarily. He was like I guess like a vampire of some sort, but he was able to like consume suckers and then gain the abilities based off the consumption that he does. And so when he died in the world that he was in, he got reincarnated as a goblin, and he was a very smart goblin because he retained all of his memories from his previous life. So he kind of knew a little bit what he needed to do. And so between him and his one of his brothers, he was able to kind of come up, level up, become a grand goblin, and then keep going up in class and stuff like that. Same thing with his brother. And so, you know, it's a whole. I like isekais that go from the start like that. It's the same thing why I liked Mushoku Tensei. Not anymore. I haven't watched the last season or this season for Mushoku Tensei. I'm kind of done with it because I'm tired of the weird crap that's actually in the show. Like, I don't know. I don't deal with that. I don't like looking at that kind of stuff. So I just stopped watching it. But I loved like Mushoku Tensei's opener because man got reincarnated into another world and became he was a literal baby and actually living it up, and you're seeing his growth as he gets older and stuff like that. It's the same thing with the goblins here. Goblins actually age quicker than like human babies and stuff like that. So he was already walking around within like 5 minutes of the episode and stuff. So, but I like that kind of like premise of what they usually try to do, or what they try to do with isekai. So I like what they did with that. The action's pretty nice, and overall, it's not a bad story from what I'm seeing when it comes to Remaster. And it is kind of like, I don't know, it's weird because like on one hand, I feel like it does a little bit something different within the isekai genre, but at the same time, there's so many generic aspects of it that, like, if you've seen other isekais, it's not that shocking to you. Is the thing, right? But I think maybe it's the main character. There's elements to it that keep you like interested in it. Is the thing here. So I think ultimately that's why I like the show Remaster in the first place. So yeah, I was just in Remaster, but I might get into it. The Todd Dysfunction arc was an odd choice of story. I don't know what was going on. That's why I had to drop it. I'm just like, this is weird, and I don't know. There's just too many weird things going on with Mushoku Tensei that I just had to let it go. This is the same thing with it's not an isekai, but Seven Deadly Sins. I actually ran into a post on X not that long ago talking about the greatest drop off in anime, and like someone picked Seven Deadly Sins, and it sucks because it's annoying because I really like Seven Deadly Sins. Like, I like Bond's character. Freaking Escanor is freaking goated as heck. You know what I'm saying? Kingy's not even a bad character once you start getting to know more about him. Diane, I love Diane. Like, strong female character. She's just as strong as the guys and stuff like that. And she holds her own. She's freaking goated. Like, there's a lot of good elements to that show, but then it started doing weird stuff all of a sudden, and it's doubling down on the weird stuff. And I'm just like, bruh, all right, it's time to leave. All right. When Meliodas, there's a manga panel that always gets shown, and I'm pretty sure maybe y'all ran into it at some point. But there's always a manga panel showing that moment, and that was literally the moment that got me to stop watching it, because I was like, oh, you're a creeper. Oh God. so I had to get away from that. And then I started kind of like in retrospect looking back on some stuff. It makes me wonder about Bond's relationship, honestly. Cause I'm like, I mean, I don't think so, but at the same time, you know, what's going on there? Yeah. But I digress. I digress. All right. His Spice and Wolf. See, I need to watch Spice and Wolf. I haven't watched Spice and Wolf yet, honestly. I need to watch that. Merlin too. Like I said, a lot of the Deadly Sin characters are pretty freaking good. I just don't like Meliodas. Meliodas actually, he was the one thing I actually did not like about the show from the beginning. Because I'm so done, and this is a trope that I want to die. I want this trope to die. I know, and it's like, what? Dang, it's kind of harsh. No, I want this trope to go away. Like, it's too much of this happening, and so many anime like he's trying to watch, and it's like, bruh, if you give me that trope, I'm leaving. And that trope is the freaking perverted main character. He's like, this guy out here was just all going on, touching on Elizabeth's first episode. And Elizabeth's just sitting there like, oh, you, like, sucker, you a predator. I did not like Meliodas, but I did like Bond. That's what kept me in the show. Bond was also, I think, in the first episode, if I'm not mistaken. And I liked his character. It kept me around. And then, like I said, we got King. And then we got Diane. Diane kept me around. And then freaking Escanor, goated. Or like, when I started seeing all the other characters, Merlin, I was like, oh, dang. You know what I'm saying? I was in it. I was like, okay. And then the story was actually kind of good, too. I was like, okay, let's do it. And the fight started happening. I was like, okay, you know? And then, like I said, the weird stuff started freaking rearing its head again. And then that's when I was like, I'm done. All right? Trash and stuff, Deadly Sins, not a compelling one at all. I wouldn't say all of that necessarily. They're not. I mean, I will say they're not like super like memorable. I can say that much. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, you know, I remember that one villain. Like I don't remember the villains like that. So you know, you have a point. Like there is an issue with the villains in there, but they're not. They serve their purpose. Like I feel like they're serviceable villains, right? But they're not like Sosuke Aizen, right? You remember Sosuke Aizen as a villain, you know what I'm saying? Like you remember that guy, you know? You remember Madara Uchiha in like Naruto, you know what I'm saying? Like you remember that guy. You're not gonna forget about that, because like Madara Uchiha, that man's a goat. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's people that are in there that you're not gonna like remember like that, because like the villains in there are kind of exactly. That's so solid. Look. Like I said, you have a point. I had to think about it for a second. I'm like, actually, I don't remember their names. So, I mean, I don't really remember like that. But look. I mean, he is, though. He is. I'm not afraid to say that either. You know? Aizen, when he slicked his hair back, everybody was like, oh my God. Good Lord of me. Also how the characters age max the body, the ancient child thing. Yeah, I'm getting tired of that too, a Nazi. I mean, because like I said, they use that as like a well, see, she actually is that age. I mean, here's the thing. It's not like there aren't people that are actually built like that. That's the thing. So don't get me wrong, but they do that a lot in anime. They do that too much at times, is a thing. That's another trope that needs to kind of slow, like not even just die out, but needs to slow down. There's other tropes that we can use and diversify to make this stuff work and not be just all up in your face all the time. That's my main like gripe with this anime in general. They stick to like certain tropes like all the time. That's why I don't watch isekais like that. Isekais literally follow almost a very similar makeup all the time, and it's annoying that they do that, because they don't have to, but they do it. And it's like you can make any fantasy world and you can do anything in there, but you always go into the same type of like fantasy of fairies and this and that, and there's like freaking slaves. Like I'm tired of seeing the same thing when we do these fantasy worlds. It's like, bro, you can be more original. Like you don't understand. The world is your oyster. You can do so much more with this, but you don't. And I don't get that. That's what's confusing me here. Andy Y. All right. He's I love Bond so much. Yeah, see what I'm saying? You feel, you see, you know how I'm feeling then, all right? It's not good, bro. It really isn't, all right, guys. Let me have my elder slave. Hey, bro, stop it. See, you're part of the problem. You're part. We mean for real. See, you're part of the problem. You're part of the goddamn problem, right? Like, okay, there's one last thing I do want to actually discuss real quick because I'm kind of shocked. I'm a little surprised even. So, I will ask: has anybody here watched Shogun the series that's on FX? The show just got done, but I'm just curious. Has anybody actually watched the show? If you did, then congratulations, you're kind of goated. If you didn't, Shogun's a really good series. I want to say anime for some reason. It's a really good series. When it comes to Japanese lore and all that stuff, it's freaking it's goated with samurais, bro. Like man. That show is that show is good. I was sitting there like every episode was freaking captivating. I was getting gotten. And like Anna was watching me watch the show and she didn't know what was going on, but I was like reacting to everything. And like what was so crazy, and we see like they actually showed the seppuku, like the suicide thing. I was like they actually straight up just show it. It's so freaking visceral, bro. I was like, God, this is what they're doing back then? Like, when I first saw it, I said, God dang, this is what they're doing back then? Like, they're just letting their guts literally spill out like that. Seppuku, yes. They're just letting the freaking... It was insane. And then they're supposed to have, like, a second, right? So once they slit their bellies and, like, dying, they have a dude cut their head off. It's like... I was like, bro... It's like... If you put shame on your family, this is what we're doing. I was like, I can't... I don't know, that like, just seeing that is actually just like, it blew my mind, actually. It blew my mind, all right? You need to finish it, and you have some time to finish it, because apparently, what I want to talk about is not just like the show about necessarily, but the fact that it has another season, and not just season 2, but apparently season 3 from what I just ran into. That's what I heard. There's gonna be 2 extra seasons with Shogun. So, again, I finished the show. Season 1 gave me the feeling that we weren't doing any more seasons. It was because like the way it ends, which I won't say exactly what, because I want to spoil nothing, right? But with how it ends, you would think this is just this is the show. This is it. So it's just like it's shocking that we're still continuing this again, because how season 1 ends. There's so much death. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. There's so much death, which makes sense. I mean, obviously, because it's feudal times. Like we're in wartime, so everybody gonna be dying. You know what I'm saying? But characters are broken, and like there's just so much stuff that goes on. I'm just like, how are they gonna do another season? I can kind of see how they could, but at the same time, do we even need to though? Like that's my question with it. Because I'm confused as to why they're even doing another season for this. They don't have to do that. It's not necessary. So. I'm concerned, but at the same time, I'm hopeful, and I will be watching. I'm gonna check it out. I will see what's going on with it, but I'm gonna watch it. Didn't that the whole novel? Well, that's what I'm saying. But like the way it ends, again, it's like you didn't really like. You could go further. I'm pretty sure, because I see where you could go with this, but it's just like I felt like, you know what? Huh? You know what? Let me be quiet. I just realized something just hit me. I said this exact same thing with Megalobox, actually. I sat here with Megalobox, the anime, this boxing anime. I said after season 1, the way that ended, I didn't think there was even a need for another season. So when I heard season 2 for Megalobox is gonna happen, I was like, what are we doing? Like I had the same complaints basically. It's like I don't really see what we can even do. Well, especially with Megalobox, I didn't know what they were gonna go for, but I have to admit. Bruh, season 2 is better than season 1. I was like, how the heck? Like, the level of storytelling went from like a 7 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10. Like, that's how good the story was. I was actually shocked how good that second season was. So, honestly, you know what? Never mind. maybe there's something I'm not seeing, but I'm still kind of worried just a little bit. Because, I mean, with how season 1 ended for Shogun, there is a potential for you to not even have to go for another season, but it can do it. It can go for another season. So we'll see what happens here. We got season 1 of Game of Thrones. Maybe you thought it was. Well, I thought we'll see. I don't know. Interesting enough, just though. I guess because my experience with Game of Thrones, I got into it much later. So it was already like 4 seasons in for Game of Thrones. So it took me, like, I binge watched it. So I don't think I had the same like effect like how others did. Like if I was watching Shogun from when season 2 started or something, I might have a different opinion. Maybe is the thing here. But because I'm watching Game of Thrones from the beginning all the way into like season 4 to where I caught up with the show. So, I think it was season 3 when I got there is what it was, and then I watched season 4. The whole point is, it was already out, and there was already a lot more seasons because of that. So with Shogun, there isn't. So I think because of that like my perspective is different on it is the thing here. Haven't seen the show, but I got through part of the novel and basically destroyed my rose glass perception of ancient Japan. Oh, really? Man, so I'm really curious what's going on here. Zaya, I highly recommend it. If you actually like season 1 of Megalobox, you gotta watch it. Like there's no reasons for you to not watch. You should watch it after this stream's done. I highly recommend it. It is. Like I said, I'm shocked at how much better the show ended up getting, and I'm hoping I'm not overhyping it, but. Like, I gave season 1 for Megalobox, like, I think 7.5 or 8 out of 10. Somewhere around there, I believe. I gotta look at my rating list for it. But I think it was 7.5. I think is what it was. I enjoyed it, but it felt like a very surface level of anime. But I did enjoy the concept, and I liked Joe as a character and stuff like that, right? And I liked how I think it was 8 out of 10, because I like the finish of the fights and stuff like that, and how they kind of, like, foregoed some stuff, and then they just duked it out. I'm not gonna say too much. I don't want to spoil nothing, but it reminded me of S. Cried in a way, because I love fights at the end where the two main characters kind of come at it. Like I love stuff like that. But and it makes sense because like it's not too much of a spoiler, only because it's freaking boxing. So I mean, you should expect that. You should expect that much. But what they did with season 2, you're not gonna expect it. Like for Megalobox, you're not gonna expect what they ended up doing with it, and the amazing storytelling that they decided to do with the characters, with Joe and everybody else. I'm telling you, you're gonna be in it for a ride. It's definitely worth watching. If you're looking at the show, X-Men 97 finished. Okay, it's finally finished. All right, bet. I think it's time for me to start watching the show then. All right. I think I'll watch like an episode or 2 tonight actually with Anna. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do here. So season in, and it's always up in the air these days. Good shows will get canceled and bad ones renewed for. I don't even know how that keeps happening. Like we have these dumb series that's still going for like forever, and it's like why they don't deserve it. But I digress. I'm glad that the show is, because it is a good show for Shogun. So I'm happy that it is getting another season at least. So with all that said, this will conclude the podcast for this week. For the Breakout podcast. That's what we're doing. These are different types of subjects. I think for next week, if there's anything that happens with the animes I'm currently watching, we will talk about those, but we might delve deeper into other topics, because there's topics that have been going on all over X. One I didn't even touch on today, which was talking about Shogun, right? And samurais and everything. There's this whole thing right now with Ubisoft and their new game that's coming out with Assassin's Creed and Yasuke being a samurai. Everybody's freaking flipping out on that. But if it keeps going on like that, we might go into that topic and talk more in depth into that conversation, because there's a conversation that needs to be had there. And it's gonna be more of a deeper kind of conversation if we get into that. So we'll see what we got on the itinerary. If you guys do run into anything, and I mean anything, that'd be worth talking about for the podcast, please hit me up. You have me on my Discord. If y'all follow me on Twitter, if you follow me on any of the social medias, I will get the message. So if you do see something of interest, send it to me, and we can talk about it for the podcast next week. All right? All right. Section of the podcast. All right. Maybe, Andy. You never know. Put me on game. I might know. Yeah, it wasn't exactly all noble samurais and exactly, right? Exactly. The was a lot of comparison with the real way European. Exactly. I'm not even surprised by that, especially considering how Shogun kind of showed me a little bit of that. So that makes sense. Yeah, we got some nice. You got some nice rants in, so I'm happy about that. I'll watch eventually after I'm watching the new Windbreaker. Thank you for reminding me. I need to catch up on freaking Windbreaker. I totally forgot about the anime. See, that's what I'm talking about. Cause I did watch the first episode, but I didn't go any further than that. I need to watch more. I'm gonna get this going. I'm gonna get it going. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you guys can, like it over on Spotify, like it over on YouTube, because it will be on YouTube once this is actually done. I'm gonna put it over there and show some love to the YouTube side of things. So if y'all can, I'll also have some timestamps and markers of the subject matters that we were talking about in the podcast later within the video. So if you want to hear just a certain subject matter we're talking about, like My Hero Academia, whatever, we'll have timestamps for it, so y'all can just click into that and we can have a discussion there as well. If there's any other things you want to talk about within the comment section, so. Yes. All right, guys. That concludes for all the streams for this week from me, Thabreakmaster. I will be back Monday, and we'll have our usual Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday stream. And I think maybe Thursday might be the day we will keep doing the podcast. Who knows? We'll see what happens. I am thinking of maybe doing it on a Sunday instead, given that a lot of animes kind of refresh around that time. But we'll see how this goes. All right. It's the Breakout Podcast. That's the official name of it for right now. Am I? Because like I know I have it on. I don't know if it's actually working or not. I can't tell. If it is, then awesome. Because for some reason I don't see it in my studio. But if I'm actually streaming on YouTube, then awesome. I couldn't see not goddamn comment, so I do apologize if it actually is up. So yeah, it's called Break. What? Oh my god. I'll change it later. Okay, that's good then. That's on YouTube then. That's freaking stupid though. All right. Like I said, this is my first episode, and I want this to be a bit of a test. I see I failed the test, but that's beside the point. God dang it, man. What the heck? I'm gonna go change that later, right when we're done here. God. Well, finally broke into the anime IG, and it slaps. Oh, okay, really nice. Okay, see, but this is what I'm talking about. See, exactly, Zaya. Okay, I'm out of here. Drink guiding water. Take guiding vitamins. I will see you next time. Break out the